And welcome to a new video on the channel. My name is Dennis. I'm the founder at Six Figure Copywriters. We've partnered up with over 50 plus copywriters so far and built them a self-running client acquisition funnel that generates between 15 to 20 sales appointments every single month without them moving a finger. And in today's video, I just wanted to take all the knowledge I got from working with these 50 plus clients and delivering amazing results and rank all the niches that we've worked with in the copywriting space. And I'm going to tell you my honest thoughts about it. I'm going to tell you what kind of offers, what kind of copy works for every single one of them. So stay tuned because today we're getting into data. If you're a data-driven guy like me and you love insights, then this video is going to be perfect for you. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to have 4 rankings. We're going to have hard niches. And by hard niches, I mean niches where you can make money, but it's either very competitive or it's very hard to generate results. Okay. Then we have medium niches, which I think are the sweet spot. They're a bit harder, so it's not everyone that jumps into them, but it still requires effort to make money. Then we have the easy niches where it's even better, so they're not that saturated in terms of the business owner to copywriter ratio, and you can also get results very easy, especially if you're a beginner. And then we have the avoid section where there are a few niches I would just simply avoid. Even if it's your passion, I would just avoid them because it's very, very hard to make money in those niches. Okay, so now let's get started. The first niche that we have right here is e-commerce, and I'm gonna rank e-commerce on a medium because I think with ecom it's great that it has a huge potential of retainer relationships, right? Because somebody that runs an ecom business, they will constantly need emails, ads, newsletters, and product page copy and all of these other types of copywriting. But I'm gonna give it a medium because it's a very saturated niche and it might take you some time and effort to make yourself visible in this niche. Okay, but it's a great niche when it comes to the potential because you can not only have the potential for retainers, but it's a great opportunity to charge on a commission basis besides on top of the retainer, right? So you can also do 5% of the ad spend or 5% of email revenue on top of your retainer, which is a great deal. I mean, if you get 2 or 3 of these clients, you're already at 10K, most probably. That's the first one. Second niche is info products. So by info products, I mean courses, ebooks, and all of these other informational products out there. I'm not speaking about high ticket coaches or mentorship programs. That's going to be another industry, but solely info products. So people pay money, they get access to a file. Okay. With info products, I'm gonna rank it a medium as well because of 2 reasons. So I think it's a great niche to make a lot of money. And again, it has a lot of potential and it's easy to get results because if you know the baseline rules of copywriting and you add a little bit of intelligence on top, you can probably convince a 9-to-5er to buy a course or somebody to invest in an info product. Okay, as long as you understand the product and you have some basic rules of copywriting applied to that, I think you can get results. However, it's a bit hard because it's a bit hard to identify these people online. So you can't really be very efficient in finding the leads and knowing which people run info products. I mean, you can definitely use techniques like going to Facebook ads library and seeing who run ads, but it's way easier to determine like a lot of e-commerce stores than a lot of people that sell info products. Because also, in order to get results, and of course, only when you get results, you get retained, they also need to have a good info product because if the info product sucks and you can't really do nothing about it with your copywriting, I mean, yeah, you will make people buy it, but the whole business is going to be a mess and it's just not sustainable for the long term. But I think if you hit the sweet spot with info products, if you find a couple of good clients that have great products and they're open to sharing revenue and implementing ideas, I think you're on your way. Awesome. Next up, we have high ticket coaches. With high ticket coaches, I would just, this is a tough one. I would give it a hard. I would give it a hard because of two reasons. Number one, it's a very saturated industry. So there's a lot of people going into a high ticket coaching space just because it developed so much over the last few years. I mean, during COVID and after COVID, I think the coaching industry just quadrupled, if not 10x at least. So I think it's a very competitive space. And because there are so many high ticket coaches, and because it's so easy to identify yourself as one, you're going to have a hard time finding the people with money, because most of these high ticket coaches, they're broke. Most of these high ticket coaches, yeah, even if they're making 10 to 20K a month, they can't afford a copywriter. They don't need a copywriter at that point, you know? And in order to land the big clients like 100K, 200K plus a month, I think that's pretty hard to do, right? I'm not saying it's impossible. You can definitely make a lot of money with high ticket coaches, but it's going to be hard for you to find clients. So I think it's one of those niches where you have to expect a long journey, and it's not going to take you just a few outreach messages to land the ideal client, right? That's my take on it. I think it's an industry that's a little bit broken these days. There's a lot of lies going around, a lot of fluff in the space, and it's just going to be hard for you to cut through that fluff, if that makes sense. Okay. Health and wellness. And by health and wellness, I want to include everything. I mean, mental health companies, health supplements, medical practices, and everything related to health. I think health is going to be a medium one as well, because we've had a bunch of clients in the health space, and especially mental health, actually. And I think it's a great space because it's not very saturated. Yeah, there are a lot of health writers, but it's not as saturated as high ticket coaches or e-commerce. But I think you need to be a very technical person to be able to deliver to this industry, just because there's a lot of technical slang and a lot of terms in the health and wellness space. You need to understand human emotion really well, and you need to, I think the clients are a little bit harder to convince than e-commerce people, because these people, they don't usually run an online business, and if they do, it's not like the traditional marketing business like info products or high ticket coaches. So you'd really have to work hard in making these people understand the importance of a copywriter, right? That's it. Fitness coaches and trainers. Fitness coaches and trainers, this is an interesting one. To be quite honest with you, I just put it in the same boat as high ticket coaches for the same reason. A lot of fluff in the space, and most of them are broke. I mean, most fitness trainers, they make somewhere in the mid four-figure range a month, and they can't really afford paying a lot of money to a copywriter. I mean, yeah, if you're looking for $500 one-time projects, then it's a good niche. But if you're looking to make big money, again, you need to find those really good people, like, like King Keto or whatever his name is, and work for them, because you're not gonna make it working with fitness trainers that have 5K followers on Instagram. These people, they don't usually need copywriters because they have offer issues. Most of these people don't know how to build a good offer. They don't know how to promote it. So yeah, that's my take on it. Then we have technology. By technology, I mean fintech, um, health tech as well, just usual technology and IT and all of these other industries, um, all of these other niches within the industry. So I'd give technology, an easy, because there's a lot of companies. I mean, every single thing today is moving towards technology. We're in a very technologically advanced era, so there's a lot of companies that solely rely on technology. I think you need to kind of know their slang and stuff before getting into it, but that's not something that you cannot learn in a few weeks, maybe. And I think it's easy because these people are busy, and they're like, most of them are like very savvy people, geeks. They don't really like getting into strategy. They just like looking at numbers and making their tech stuff work, right? So they're gonna need somebody to take care of the marketing side of things, and I think this is where you can come in. And they have money because technology pays really well as an industry, and it's going to be easy for you to charge two grand, 3 grand, so on and so forth. Same goes with SaaS and software, especially with AI. Oh man, oh man, AI revolutionized AI. There's a AI revolutionized SaaS. Sorry, um, there's just a bunch of software as a service platforms and new software that's coming in with this new AI revolution. And it's very easy for you to land clients because there is a huge demand for teams in SaaS at the moment. There's a huge number of products appearing, and it's very easy for them to pay you money because most of the time, when somebody launches a SaaS company, they have money. It's not like high ticket coaching. Oh, I have a Facebook banner. I'm going to add people from a few groups and I'm a high ticket coach. That's why those people are mostly broke. The barrier of entry is very low. The barrier of entry for SaaS is higher. You need to invest money. You need to invest in a software developer. You need to invest a lot in marketing. So these people definitely have the budget and it's a high demand for it right now. So I definitely say SaaS is one of the best industries these days out of this entire list right here. Okay. Cybersecurity, I would just avoid it, to be completely honest with you. um I think you can make money, but I think it's very hard to really. I think these people are very, I don't know, they're very I don't want to say skeptical, but they have their in-house teams. Cybersecurity is a thing that's like more for millennials and stuff, like there's um it's just an industry that I didn't really like working with. I had a few clients in the cybersecurity space, actually just two, and the results didn't work quite as we wanted them to. So we transitioned to SaaS and tech because they're related. But cybersecurity, I just don't like it. Okay. Um, Again, this video is just my personal opinion based on the campaigns we did. I'm not saying that you can be a cybersecurity copywriter making 10K a month. You definitely can. This is just what I would do if I were to consult you, right? Then we have dating and romance. With dating and romance, I would definitely, again, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I would mark it as medium. By dating and romance, I mean like relationship coaches, relationship therapists, dating apps, and all of these other things. I would say it's a medium because I think it's very easy to write in the dating space. I think it's very, very easy to speak to broken people that need that kind of advice and product, right? Because you can be very emotional and you can make a lot of money with that. But I think it's a little bit harder to get good clients because um, it's not that big of an industry. I mean, yeah, dating is a big industry in itself, but as in the companies that make enough money to afford a freelance copywriter, um, it's just a smaller number than SaaS, for instance, right? But I think it's an easy industry to get results in. I really think that. Real estate. Real estate, well, with real estate, I would genuinely, I mean, we have clients in the real estate space, but I would just mark it as hard. I'm very close to marking it as avoidable, to be honest. But we're still getting results, so I'm not gonna give it an avoid. I'm gonna give it a hard. You see, the real estate space is one of the most crowded space with marketing agencies, freelancers, service providers. It's just very, very hard to get results, especially with cold outbound. Um, I mean, if you have the right offer, if you have case studies, testimonials, yes. But if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend getting into real estate. Okay, it's a nightmare. You're better off just spending 2 weeks on YouTube and learning about SaaS and going into this industry than going into real estate. Yes, it's a growing industry. Yes, there's a lot of sub niches like mortgage, investors, developers, but it's very, 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 very crowded with service providers, and it's just hard to get the results, right? It's not impossible, but it's these people have become numb to marketing, to outreach marketing. So yeah, that's my take on it. Finance. I would mark finance as easy. Why? Because these people have the money, they have the knowledge that in order to grow, you need to invest. They are people that are investing and they're teaching other people how to invest. So finance is a great industry to understand your value. And I also think it's easy to generate results as long as you are familiar with the slang and the terms in the industry. I think it's a really good industry to be in. Finance. I really like finance. Finance coaches, financial advisors, and just finance companies overall, like banking apps and payment and all of these other things. I think they're great companies, because we need finance to move around the world. It's an evergreen industry. Definitely love it. Okay, fashion and beauty. This one, genuinely, I would avoid it. And let me tell you why. Um, I would much rather just focus on e-commerce because it kind of falls in the same category. I mean, most fashion and beauty is just clothing and makeup and beauty products and fashion and products and all this kind of stuff, right? If you write for fashion magazines and fashion designers and all of that, you might be one of those like fancy copywriters working with two clients making 20 grand a month. That's fine with me. But for the usual copywriter that wants to get 4 to 5 clients and relies on outreach methods to get clients, fashion and beauty is a very saturated industry. And not only saturated, but I think it's hard to make these people understand the value of copywriting. If you are going, I think if you can write for fashion and beauty, you can definitely take the extra time to niche out into e-commerce and go for more types of e-commerce businesses, because it's just going to give you an easier time. Okay, again, this is my personal opinion. I would just avoid fashion and beauty, like niching down specifically on fashion and beauty. um, Again, you can still get results, but it's not my favorite industry to be in. Pets. Pets. I would also avoid pets. Again, very, very narrowed down industry. Um, and besides e-commerce products, I mean, what are your options? Pet trainers, they don't really make a lot of money. Um, like shelters and all of this, beautiful intention, helping those people out, but I don't think they're qualified financially, you know, to pay the big bucks. So I would just avoid it overall. To be honest, it's a cute industry. I love pets, but I would just avoid it if you're looking to make money fast. Okay, if you have connections and you have a network of pet business owners and you have your audience, yes, okay. But if you're going to do cold outbound, then it's not really gonna be the best industry possible. Travel, I would mark it as medium. With travel, it's pretty complex, okay? So we've had a bunch of clients in the travel space. Um, and by travel, I mean like travel agencies, cruise lines, and all of these other sub niches in the travel space. Um, I think it's hard to find the right client because you either get you either speak with a broke travel agent. Most travel agents are broke; they don't make a lot of money, or you either hit one of the big guys, I mean, like the cruise lines and all of these other companies, but it's really hard to get to them. However, it's a very easy industry to work with in terms of delivering the work because it's travel. I mean, it's very easy to write about travel, right, and make people desire it. Legal, I would avoid legal. I think it's just a very complex space, and when you're speaking with lawyers, they're always skeptical of paying money, and it's just a very hard. You're gonna have a very hard time. Again, you can get results, but I think it's way harder to try to get these people convinced that they need a copywriter than it is to learn another industry. That's what I'm basing the avoid section on. I think the time it takes for you to get clients in this industry is it's going to take you a lot longer, and it's going to take you much effort than learning any one of like any of these right here, right? Home improvement, and by this I mean like HVAC and local businesses and furnitures and all of this kind of stuff. Again, I would just avoid it. Local businesses in general, I would avoid them just because it's purely just the fact that they don't really understand what online marketing is. You have to convince them to promote themselves, and they're very crowded right now with marketing agencies. Like you have all of these like kids starting like roofing agencies and HVAC agencies and home improvement agencies, and they're just getting spammed all day long, and they're not going to want to hear your pitch as a copywriter. So I would just avoid this overall. Marketing and ad agencies, easily one of my favorite industries to get in as a freelance copywriter. Why? Because they are clients that have clients. Okay, so if you go and you outreach to 10,000 marketing agencies, and let's say they have 2 clients on average, then you're really just putting yourself in front of 20,000 people, because 30,000 people actually, because if you land a marketing agency as a client and they offer copywriting, they can easily outsource that to you, and you can make a lot more money, right? So definitely one of my favorite industries, and one of the easiest industries to get into if you're a beginner, because it's really just exponential growth with all of the clients. And if you land a very big agency, you can get paid even like 4 to 5K a month for just a few clients, and that's great. That's great money. Restaurants, definitely avoid. Same reason as home improvement. I just think it's very local, very, very, very moms and pops business, and it's just not gonna. You're not gonna have an easy time convincing these people they need copywriting. That's the thing with marketing agencies. They do the convincing for you. They know what a copywriter is. They know they need you. You just need to put yourself in front of them, because no matter they have clients in the dating space, high ticket space, or even legal, they already convinced those clients they need marketing. You're just part of their delivery team. And that's the great thing about marketing agencies. But make sure they acknowledge you as a freelancer and not as an in-house copywriter, because that's when you land a full-time job, not a freelance client. Personal dev, I would mark it as hard because it's very crowded. And same reason as high ticket coaches, low barrier of entry, broke people. Okay, it's very easy for me to go on Twitter, take one of those pictures in a shaman outfit and call myself a monk, and talk about personal development and how I wake up at 3 a.m. and have only 30 minutes of sleep every night, right? And those people usually don't really have money. They're just growing the personal brand for ego, I think. And while there are definitely a lot of great people in personal development, and a lot of good coaches, and a lot of good info product owners and everything, I just think it's a hard niche to get into, because you're going to have a hard time making people pay you 4 figures a month, if that makes sense. Non-profit, pretty self-explanatory. I would just simply avoid it. Okay, not a lot of money going around because they're non-profit. They don't really want to invest in other than delivering their services and their charity stuff. So it's going to be very hard for you. I mean, yeah, if you go to if you're that type of person that goes to fundraisers, and you have friends running nonprofits, and you write for them, and they introduce you to other people, it's a good industry. But if you're trying to do outreach to nonprofits, you're going to have very little luck in finding clients. That's what happened with us with one of our campaigns, and we just switched the industry as soon as possible. Gaming. Gaming was always an interesting one for me. I think it's a medium. I think gaming is a very controversial industry. I think people say that people in the gaming space don't have money, and that's quite true. Like, I mean, with most people, but I think if you land the right clients, as in game development agencies and testers and all of these other people that have connections, I think you're gonna do well, right? I think it's one of those industries where you really have to build your network in order to make it work. If you don't build your network, then it's not really going to work, just relying solely on cold outreach. Okay. Then we have music. I would genuinely just avoid music, because artists, it's the stigma around artists that broke artists are most of them are like that. And I think other than like instrument shops and the few like producers and studios and stuff like that, you don't really have much choice. And I think that those people don't really need copywriting. I mean, they're local businesses, moms and pops. They get their clients because they have a banner in front of their store. And yeah, copywriting can definitely help them, but it's just going to be, again, way harder to land these people as clients than it is to learn one of these other industries. Okay. Parenting and tutoring, easy. I love this industry. We had a client in this industry, her name's Liesel, that she got fully booked in just 1 month and a half. And it's absolutely amazing because it's not a saturated industry. Nobody's really doing outreach in this space. And it's very easy to convince people that they need help because they're in the helping business. So, it makes sense. And they also, I don't think it's an industry where you can charge high prices like 4, 5, 6K a month. But I think it's a great industry to have like 1.5, 2K a month packages and just land a few more clients, and you can still make 10K a month writing for parenting and tutoring, and it's a great industry because it's not that saturated. So you will have a lot of response and you will be able to test stuff way faster. Automotive industry, I would rank it a medium. I think it's a great industry to make money in. It's a great industry to kind of have these companies in your portfolio, like car brands and dealerships and all of these other stuff and services and all of these other stuff, but these other things. But I think it's harder to land clients here because they're just they're in the middle of understanding marketing and moms and pops business, right? They know what sales is. They all work with salesmen, almost all of businesses. So they understand that they also need a sales system in the back end. And that's kind of your way in. Event and wedding planners, I would just mark it as hard because these people, they don't really understand marketing. They're small businesses. They want to stay that way. I never really heard a wedding planner want to scale. They're just like, entrepreneurs wanting like 3 clients a year and that's it, to like do their wedding stuff and charge high ticket and that's it. But I think you can land some good clients on content creation and social media copywriting and all of this other stuff, and email newsletter potentially. But I think in order to land these guys as clients, you need to really, really, really differentiate yourself and have a really unique offer that they understand and they never heard before. If you can nail these 2 things down, you will have a good time in event and wedding planning. Startups, hard. It's definitely easy because just to find these leads because there are a bunch of people in the space, but they don't have money. They're startups, okay? They don't really have finances most of the times. You can find some startups that have capital, but I would just mark it as hard because most of the startups are, again, low barrier of entry. I can go and post a picture tomorrow in front of I don't know, in front of a computer at a Starbucks and call myself a startup, but I don't have any money and I don't have any idea what I'm doing, right? So those are most people in the startup space. I would just make it hard. But if you land the good clients, it can pay off very well because you're building long-term relationships. Crypto and Web3, I would just I'd make it hard because it's a very volatile space, hard to understand. It's dying off. Like, let's be honest, crypto and Web3 and like NFTs and all of that stuff. It's so 2022, right? I think there's still opportunity to write for people in the space, but I just think again it would be easier to learn these industries. And then lastly, we have CBD and cannabis. And with this one, I definitely go with medium because I think that it's a great industry because it's not that crowded. Nobody has the guts to write for this stuff because it requires a lot of compliance and it's just harder to deliver work. But I think if you can nail that down and really deep dive in the industry and learn its ins and outs, I think you can land some good clients because these people are growing. CBD is a growing industry. There's a lot of people adopting it and stuff like that. So it's definitely going in the right direction. But yeah, freelance copywriters. This is my official ranking of all the industries we've worked with. As you can see, we have a lot of industries in the avoid section. This is my honest advice, okay? This industry didn't really work with outreach. This industry has crushed it. This industry's got great results, and this industry's got good results, but it was harder for us to iterate and find the sweet spot, right? So I hope you found this video helpful. If I missed your niche, drop a comment below and I will reply to you with my opinion on that industry as well, if I have experience and insights on that. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like this video, comment your industry, what your industry is. I'm really curious to see what my followers work on these days. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Until next time.